I'm the 1 o'clock storyteller. My name is Mary Schaefer, and before I get started, I have a question for all of you that are listening.
No.
I have a question. Who here has had a near-death experience, like you almost died? Okay, I figure most of us have had some kind of thing happen in our lives that, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Okay, now, how many of you have never spoken in public? Raise your hands who have never done what I'm doing right now. Raise your hands. So you've all spoken in public. Oh, because you know what they say, speaking in public is as scary as the thought of dying.
No.
Am I right? Laughy girl back there? Love, yeah, keep it up. Come on. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to tell you about my near-death experience. It was February 10th of 2022. So I was born in 1952. So that was the year that I turned 70. Okay, now I play pickleball. Who plays pickleball?
Yeah.
Hey, pickleball. Okay. We'll set something up after a while. Okay, so anyway, some gals that I play pickleball with, they said, Mary, we're gonna go sledding. This was February 10th. We're gonna go sledding at Pleasant Ridge Park, which is in Fairview Heights, Illinois. It's right over there. I live in Belleville, by the way. So I'm like, okay, I'm game. I sled with my kids in my backyard, or my grandkids rather. Anyway, so, and these girls, I'm 71 now. These girls are like 30 years younger than I am, okay? But we're all gonna go. I think there was some hiking girls there too that I didn't know. And there was one gal who was kind of close to my age. So okay, she can do it, so can I. So anyway, we go to this park, you know, and it's cold. And I'm dressed in nylon, you know, insulated, whatever. And they say, okay, Mary, okay, let's all go over here where we're gonna go down, sled down this hill, so we can go up that hill. And that's the hill we're gonna sled down. And I'm like, okay. So I don't have a sled, but they had plenty of sleds. So, you know, and they start going down, and there's like a wooded area on the side of the hill over there. And there's kind of like a creek in there too. Anyway, so we're going down, and they're, you know, I'm watching them go down. They're going down the hill, and we're going to go up that hill, and that's what we're going to do, the sledding. Okay, so, and it's funny, I told this story to some gals that I went to dinner with last week. So they made some comments that I might interject here, because they're not good. They said, we won't be able to be here today, so tell us the story. So anyway, we're going, you know, they're all sliding down, and they give me this sled, and so I start going down the hill, and it's a oblong sled. It's not a circular disc sled. You know what I'm talking about? So I get on the sled, and I'm going down the hill like this. Here, let me grab this. I'm going down the hill. All of a sudden, I'm turning around, and I'm going backwards. And Laura, one of the gals that I was having dinner with her, she goes, well, you must have had bad weight distribution for that sled to turn around. Are you saying I have a fat ass? Is that what you're saying? So anyway, I start going backwards, and I am going probably, I'm guessing 30 miles an hour, Mark. 30 miles an hour. It was probably 15 or 10, I don't know. But I'm going like this. I'm digging my heels in, and it was packed snow, because this was like on a Tuesday, and they had been sledding that whole weekend, so it was all packed down. So I'm digging my heels in, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Or I'm going to be maimed. The 70s are going to be a bitch. So I'm going, and I was telling the story to the gals the other night, like I said, and Amy goes, why didn't you just jump off? And I'm like, oh, that's the first time I ever thought of that. But you don't know what you're gonna do when you're in a situation like that, you know? I didn't think of it. And besides, I had so much nylon on, I probably would have really gone faster. So anyway, I'm going like this, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna die, as I mentioned. And finally, the sled stops, but I don't stop. And I'm like catapulted off of that sled, and I'm in this brush, and I'm like, there's a creek, and all of a sudden, I land, like this is the one, right here, the sled stops, and my body goes like that, and I land on my back, flat, on the second landing. That's what happened, and I'm like, I didn't die. I didn't die, and I'm jarred. I am jarred. I mean, I could, you know, and everybody, all these women, there were like 7 women, like I said, most of them 30 years younger than me, and they come looking at me and they go, Mary, are you dead? I'm like, I get up. I get up, and I'm standing up, and I didn't die, and I'm not maimed. And those girls, I think I would have rather been me than them who had to witness this, because it was scary for them to witness. I saw a girl a couple of weeks ago, I was playing pickleball with her, and she comes up to me and she goes, you were the one. You were the one when we went sledding. You almost died. You were the one, I remember that. I go, I remember it too. And I could not believe that. I said, you know, I climbed up off of that ledge, that other whatever platform, and I go, okay, let's go sledding. And so I went sledding for the, I don't know, 2-3 more hours with the girls. I mean, I cannot believe that I lived to tell it, and that I'm standing here and not a quadriplegic or something, because it could have been so bad. But because I just flew off and I stayed flat, and I just landed on my back. So that was one instance where I almost died. I want to tell you about an instance, not so much about me, but it's about my granddog. This happened this week. I was babysitting, or dog sitting, whatever. He's a little, he's not a Shih Tzu, he's a Lhasa Apso. And I watch him every time my son and daughter-in-law and the kids go on vacation. So he likes to run off. And I got him on a leash, and I'm taking him out the front door, and here comes my neighbor with his beautiful husky. And of course, Cooper is his name. He knows how to get out of the leash, and he pulls himself out of the leash, and he runs off. And my daughter-in-law says, if he runs off, don't chase him. So, okay, I'm not gonna chase him. And then anyway, so I have to go, because I've got to play pickleball because I have something else to do. So I go and get ready. He can run the neighborhood. I'm all ready. I go, okay, I gotta go. I can't let him run the neighborhood for 4 hours, because that's about how long I'm gonna be done. So anyway, I get in my car, and I see him across the street. He runs, I pull over there, he runs. All of a sudden, he's on the main drag of my neighborhood. This is like between 8 and 8:30, when it's, you know, people are going to work. And so I park along the street, and I'm like out of the car, and I'm like directing traffic, like, stop! And you know, and this one car stops, and he stops, and they go, and here comes another car coming down the hill. She's a-coming, and I'm like, and he runs right in front, runs right. And Luckily, he got in between the tires. And I saw him, 10 minutes? I saw him roll under the car. And she stopped, and her eyes were like this. She was so upset. I felt bad for her. He runs off, of course, because he doesn't care. So, and she pulls up on me. Oh my God, I would have felt so bad if I would have killed him. I'm like, it's okay. Even his own family doesn't care about him that much. Don't worry about it. So I go back home, and here he comes. I've had enough, Grandma. And I open the door and he waltzes right into my living room. Unfazed, unscratched, nothing. I'm like, I am never watching this damn dog again. Never. I cannot handle this. Several years ago, unfortunately, I had a Shih Tzu, and my girlfriend at the time, I had to leave to go. I did gigs. I was an entertainer. And she let him out, and I said, no, I already let him out. I said, well, I gotta go. He needs to go out. He was sitting in the driveway, and he did have a death experience. I ran over my dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah, pretty sad. And then I had to go entertain. Holly took him to the vet, and I went to Alton to go do an old bag lady gig, a comedy gig. Yeah, try to be funny after that. And she called me right as I was getting out of the car saying, his name was Alex. Alex died. So, but anyway, I do have one other experience that I had it was again in February. I was with my husband at the time, and our two friends, who actually have both died since then, but this was like 1984. And the driver of the car decides he's going to, Dennis was his name, and Debbie and I are in the back seat, and our husbands are in the front. And he decides he's going to drag race this car next to us. It had snowed, the snow melted, it refroze, and all of a sudden our car, his Jeep, starts going like this. Now I'm sitting behind the driver, and it's going like this, and I'm like, okay, this car needs to stop. When's it going to stop? And I'm like, and I see this snowbank and a telephone pole, and right where I was sitting, the Jeep went up on the snowbank, and so it tipped up, and the pole went down right where I was sitting. And I must have been unconscious for a while, because when I woke up, not for long, but when I woke up, Debbie was saying, and Gary, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. I mean, I had 3 kids to raise. I mean, I was just like, we got taken in an ambulance, and but I survived that one too. That was another, I thought I'm gonna die. Yeah. So it's a scary thing, but there are people out there, none of which are in this room, that they don't think public speaking is scary. I don't think it is either. But some people, I mention it to people, and they're like, I'd rather die. Well, yeah. I'd rather do this. I think it's fun. Thank you all for listening.